Nate, I know he wasn't your guy, but you got Slater. What do you think?
Look, Slater, he's a good offensive tackle. The problem is he's T-Rex, right? He's got huge body, little arms, and people beat him on the outside, or they'll beat him on an inside change, and he moves really well. He gets to the second level very quickly, and he goes laterally very quickly to take out guys on the run game. I worry about what he can do in the passing game. I think that in 3 years he's a right tackle. And I'll take that hot take right there and just say 3 years that guy's our starting right tackle. He's a good one, but he's not a starting left tackle. I got my guy in Asante Samuel. Second round, I thought he'd be available. He was. I really, really loved the pick. He has great man skills. I mean, he's tenacious, he fights, he's strong at the attack. And he is a great man cover corner. The problem is he's only 5'10", but with shorter receivers, kind of coming back to dominance a little bit in the NFL, I think 5'10" corner isn't as bad as it was a couple years ago when everybody was 6'2" or above. I think he's a great pick though. I really like Asante Samuel.
I actually have my eye on him too, just in case the Raiders were going to bolster some more of their secondary cornerback wise as well. But obviously you guys got him.
Yeah, well, obviously Asante's got the pedigree. I mean, his dad, and he looks like a clone of his dad. Mm-hmm. But his dad was great at playing that off-man coverage, that off-man zone, and really just shooting it when the timing was right. He had a great career with the Patriots and with the Eagles. But what do you think about this receiver here, Josh Palmer?
I hate when they picked him. I actually like the guy. He had a great Senior Bowl. He's probably the sharpest route runner in the entire draft, which is you watch how he gets in and out of his breaks. His chin and his knee are right in line when he's decelerating to kick out and punch, and he's got a great route running repertoire. He can hit every route. He sells it well on the fade or the post. He's a good route runner. He runs a 4.5, 1 or 3 40. He's 6'2", he's got good size, and I think that he has the ability to really open up the field, kind of like Keenan Allen, who was another third-round pick.
I just think you guys are really stacking up on the possession receivers though, a little bit, right?
It'd be nice to have a burner. It really would, but I think at this pick, Ronnie Perkins, the outside linebacker in our system, would have been a really good pickup at that point. I also think that Nico Collins was still on the board, and if you're going to take a tight end at the end of the third round and you don't take Hunter Long here, I don't understand that at all.
What do you think about this Trey McKitty?
This is a dude who lined up facing the wrong direction against Louisiana Monroe. His entire body was pointed this way, and the rest of the team was pointed that way. Hey, everybody has one of those days, I guess, but, it wasn't like they had just started the drive. They had been driving down the field. So, I don't know, but he can run a little bit. He can make some good catches. He made a lot of one-handed catches at the Senior Bowl. It was very flashy. I don't think he's fast enough, and I don't think he can block well enough to survive in the NFL. I don't know.
Wasted pick. There you go.
Kinda.
Well, so is there? I mean, in terms of needs, you guys got hit around a little bit there. You got that running back too towards the end of the draft. What do you think about him?
Roundtree's a freaking stud. Kuiper had him as his 8th best running back in the league.
Who the hell's Mel Kiper?
He lacks elite runaway speed. He doesn't run away from people on the top level, but he has a brilliant stiff arm. His stiff arm is a thing of beauty. He deploys it well. He has the ability to shed tackles like crazy, and he shows burst and vision. He gets into the hole, he picks his spot, and he can run through it very quickly. It should be a lot of fun, but Missouri used him a lot. He ran 37 times against Kentucky. He had a lot of carries. He had 3,800 some yards at Missouri, but the tread is definitely starting to wear on the tires. I have to think, especially the way he runs. He runs big, he runs heavy, he runs into contact. He's a mauler running back, but there are going to be some questions about how much longer can he go at that pace. You see a lot of running backs who come into the league and they tear it up in their first 2 or 3 years, and then they fade into nothing.
And tough position. It takes a lot of beating.
It takes a lot of beatings, and you're gonna run a guy that much in college, and then he gets to the NFL. That's a question mark. But if he can remain healthy and really establish himself, I think he's a perfect complement to Austin Eckler. You got him coming out of shotgun sets and catching passes out of the backfield. And then you've got Roundtree, who just, barrels right through the middle of the line and picks up 5 or 6 yards every time. I think it's a good combo.
So let me ask you this. Do you think Justin Herbert got the help that he needed to help you guys compete in the West?
He did. And it wasn't just in the draft. Adding the guys at guard and center, then we drafted a tackle, and then we drafted another tackle. And Brendan Hines is a left tackle who's going to move to guard in the NFL. He is very good, surprisingly. And I don't think he's a starting left tackle, but I think he could be potentially a good starting left guard. We had a killer draft. We got Chris Rump II, who is going to be a rush only.
So what other needs do you guys need to address before the training camp starts?
I think we've got a really solid core. I knew that we needed a running back. Eckler can't soldier the load by himself. He's not that guy, but he is very, very talented, and if we use him correctly in moderation, he can be really good for us. We needed that change of pace. I think our biggest hole right now is probably going to be safety. And we're going to roll out a rookie corner on the outside. Whenever you do that it's always interesting for the first year or so. We still need a defensive lineman. I don't think we picked anybody up, and I don't think we signed anybody in free agency as of today that is really going to support this hybrid defensive front that we want to run, where Joey Bosa stands up as a 3-4 linebacker. I would love to have seen a big defensive end or a small defensive tackle come off the board here for us at some point, where we can plug them in and really run rotations on the line and through the linebackers, because it's going to be interesting. But we're also going to play a lot of cover too, man coverage, and I think Asante Samuel helps us out there. So it'll be a fun year to watch, I think, especially with Herbert having protection now.
Well, thank you to the bitter San Diegan for his thoughts on his draft. As a Raider fan, I hope nothing of your drafts pans out. We will still be in the cellar in the AFC West. So there you go.
Hey, Denver made some moves. That could be interesting in the AFC West.
Well, as long as they don't pick up Aaron Rodgers, I am not sweating the Broncos at all. So